Be afraid, be very afraid. Could baby number 3 be on the way for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? A leading psychologist has said that Meghan Markle's recent pronouncements about her previous pregnancies demonstrates that she is in the mood for more kids, that she's feeling what we call in the UK broody. So does she crave a brother or sister for Archie and Lily? It would certainly give her more offspring that she could put on Instagram. And is a third child the brand boost that she needs as she shuts down her short-lived business empire? Now, Meghan revealed just recently on her dreadful podcast, The Confessions of a Female Founder, that she gained 65 pounds during each of her pregnancies. Why did she tell us this? Why is she sharing this information? Who cares that she gained 65 pounds during each of her pregnancies? Well, there's a reason for the oversharing. She is now romantic. She is nostalgic about her pregnant years. Now, she revealed in the podcast how irresponsible she was when she was expecting Archie and Lilibet, because she continued to wear 5-inch stiletto heels in public appearances. She recounts a friend's astonishment upon seeing a photo of her heavily pregnant in heels. And the friend said, "You had the most enormous bump and your tiny ankles are bracing themselves in these high heels." Well, the friend was right, of course. But Meghan wants to do it her way. She wore high heels, incredibly hazardous for anyone expecting a baby. I'll be honest with you. Can I overshare at this point in the show? I've worn heels. Long story. Don't worry, I don't have a secret persona. I'm not living a double life. Mrs. Dolan has nothing to fear about me raiding her wardrobe. Far from it. I am as manly as man can be. Let me assure you of that. Red-blooded, a traditional alpha male that drinks decaf. Make it make sense. But I had to wear high heels for a TV charity show in which I was in drag. I was 1/3 of Destiny's Child. You got Beyonce. I think you've got... well, I forgot what they're all called, but I was the other one. I was the least famous member of Destiny's Child, and I had to dance in high heels, and it was treacherous. And I wasn't expecting a baby at the time, and that's how irresponsible Meghan is. This is the same Meghan that takes Lily beekeeping. Is that entirely wise to take a 4-year-old beekeeping? What's next? Sword swallowing? Eating fire? Jumping out of an airplane at 38,000 feet? With nothing more than a parachute on your back. The woman's crazy. But anyway, so she's oversharing about her weight gain. She also talked about her pre-eclampsia and the challenges of juggling babies and a full work schedule when she had the 2 kids. Now, the psychologist, Dr. Stefan Walters, who is a very bright man, he knows his onions. Stefan Walters is nobody's fool. And he suggests that Meghan's frequent disclosures are very significant and demonstrate that she could be in the mood to make more babies. Maybe, baby, I'll have you for me. Is it possible? Is she broody? Isn't that a great word, by the way? Traditional British/Irish word meaning the desire to have more children. Now, he said, Stefan Walters said, women often romanticize and enjoy that stage of pregnancy and having a newborn baby. They look back on it very fondly. He said they want to really share that with the world at large because it can be such a unique and beautiful time. You see, that's what Meghan misses. Because when she was expecting the babies, she was being cared for. She had attention. She had sympathy. People were empathetic towards her. Now that the babies are out, we can see her for what she actually is, which is a very controlling and ambitious, driven and ruthless woman. But when she was pregnant, you're always a bit kinder to somebody that's in the family way, aren't you? When they're expecting, you give respect, you give care. If you're on the bus, you give up your seat. Of course you do. I did that once to somebody that wasn't pregnant. Didn't end well. Never ask a lady who is a shapely midriff, when's it due? Never ask that. Even if you're convinced, even if you are her gynecologist and have scans of the baby, never ask a woman, when's it due? Because if she's not pregnant, it is game over. So, Stefan, this guy, I love him. I want to have his babies. Dr. Stefan Walters, what a story, what a scoop. So he said that she is craving her pregnancy years. He sees her current reflections as a possible rewriting of past trauma. He said there's an element of getting a second chance here. Pregnancy was a difficult, painful time for them. And at times, she seemed to be struggling. It wasn't necessarily associated with a lot of happy memories. So now she's perhaps feeling that she's able to create and relive some happy memories around pregnancy and the early years of Archie and Lily's lives. I think what Stefan is saying, and it's certainly my interpretation, is that there's every chance that Meghan wants to get back on that horse and go again. I'm not sure that horse metaphors are entirely appropriate, certainly quite indelicate potentially, because would Harry be getting on the horse? Who's the horse? Who's doing the mounting? So, yikes, Shaggy, let's get out of here, Scoops. Right, so the bottom line is, Meghan's broody. To my wonderful viewers in North America, across Europe, Australasia, broody is a British word and it means in the mood for babies. Do you know that word? And she's in the mood. Harry, by the way, is not. Have I told you about Harry? Prince Harry is the world's least happy millionaire. He's got a mansion which has 16 bathrooms. He's worth $60 to $70 million. He's world famous. His father's the king of the United Kingdom. He's married to a Hollywood actress wife, 2 healthy kids, and he is miserable.
Hop-we-dum-we-dum-we-dum. Poor Prince Harry, world's least happy millionaire. Hop-we-dum-we-dum-we-dum.
And this misery guts doesn't want any more kids, right? So Meghan is in the mood. Meghan's ready to make sweet, sweet love like the wonderful Barry White. Meghan is actually, she's dusting down the Barry White LPs. Right? She's got Barry White's greatest hits on compact disc, and she's ready to slam it into the drawer and hit play. The Walrus of Love, they called Barry White. What a great guy. What a great singer. The only thing, I do feel he cheated a bit because there's quite a lot of songs where he's talking. It's like, Barry, we paid you to sing. Enough already with the talking in songs. Have you noticed that with some artists? With a lot of talking. It's like, can I please have some singing? Blues for baby and me. That's also not singing. So Harry said earlier this year, I've got the story. The Mark Dolan show has the inside story. Harry publicly stated in February 2025 that he and Meghan do not plan to have more children beyond the 2 they have, Archie and Lily. This was an interview during the Invictus Games in Vancouver. By the way, how indiscreet. What's he doing talking about his private life and his wife's body with the world's press? We have no right to know about her urethra and her womb. I don't think so. And her fallopian tubes and her ovaries. That's a private matter. Why is he banging on about her reproductive organs to some hack journalist? It's like, this is Prince Harry. You're supposed to have been raised with manners. You don't talk about your private life like that. You don't announce. I'm not going to tell you, folks. I'm not going to tell you whether I'll stop at 2 children. I've got 2 children who we're going to call Elton and Bernie. I love my boys. Am I going to make more? Far be it from me to say. In fact, I would argue it's going to be Mrs. Dolan's decision. I will say we need to be in the same room for more than a few minutes, which is quite a challenge these days because she's very busy. As am I. But the bottom line is, I'm not going to... You don't do that, do you? You don't announce whether it is... I mean, the worst thing people can do is go, oh, we're trying for another. It's like, please, put it away. I'm trying to eat my breakfast here. We're trying for another one. TMI. T-M-I-E-O. TMI means, what does it mean? Too much information. So anyway, Harry's like, I think 1 or 2 kids is probably enough. I definitely think that. Yeah, well, you can think anything you like because you're just a bloke. And ladies watching, you'll agree, it's the woman that decides. It's not the bloke. We are a mere accessory to the event, are we not? We are a bit part player. We are a background artiste, is what we are. We are the extra in that movie. And it is the woman decides, not
Humpy Dumpy World, Prince Harry. I think 1 or 2 kids is probably enough. I definitely think that.
Who cares what you definitely think? You don't think very much anyway, like 3 times a year. Don't make a habit of it, Harry. He then added,
I know some people who have got 5. I just say, well, that's your own fault.
what an aggressive thing to say. Why is he attacking people with 5 kids? I come from Irish lineage. I come from Irish lineage. Mark Dolan. My dear father, Seamus Dolan. From County Cavan, my mother from Drogheda in Louth, which is the wee county. By the way, so many viewers in the Republic of Ireland. May God bless you. The fields of Athenry. So, let me tell you. Foster and Allen. If you ever want to hear some great Irish music, have you got Spotify or Apple Music or anything? Have a listen to Foster and Allen, and it will bring a tear to your eye. Not because of the bad singing, like Taylor Swift. I'm talking about the talent of Foster and Allen. And A Bunch of Time is an incredible song. Anyway, listen, I've got so many stories. We don't have time for this. By the way, at the end, Reg, my neighbour's cat, resurfaces. I tried to deal with this feline fiend, but I'm fighting a losing battle. Reg is at the end of today's show. But Harry attacks people with 5 kids.
He said, oh, I just say, well, that's your own fault.
Now, some people call that humour. I think that's passive-aggressive behaviour. But he's an angry man too. He's not just the world's least happy millionaire. He's the most furious. He also he's obsessed with his private life and sharing it. In 2019, during an interview with Dr. Jane Goodall, who I think he just assumed was his urologist, it's like, what are you doing, man? He said 2 maximum. And he said he was worried about environmental concerns. This is a guy that jetted 6,000 miles to China to lecture all of us about the planet's rising temperatures. That is the carbon footprint of a small country in one flight. And Harry is worried about the environment and he wants
2 maximum. Oh, brilliant.
So what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Meghan decides if there's going to be another baby. Let me say that lots of you, because no one gets cancelled on the Mark Dolan show. Can we talk about the comments? The comments are not part of the show. The comments are the show. The comments are the show. And this channel, by the way, I think we're breaking some kind of record at the moment. The video the other day, 3,000 comments. How is that possible? 3,000! All of it common sense, good-humoured. And I'll get to a couple of brilliant comments of yours at the end about the Lily/Lilibet scandal. Get to that in just a moment. But can I just say that your comments, a lot of you think that Meghan cannot have another baby. Okay. So first of all, her stated age is 43. Right. We're told she's 43 years of age. A lot of you say she's 50. A lot of you say she's 51. So many of you do not believe that Meghan is the age as stated. Now, I've got no evidence to demonstrate her age. I don't have the birth certificate. But what I could do, by the way, when the Mark Dolan show goes to America, because the Mark Dolan show is on the road with daily videos from the United States in late June, early July. This is not a drill. I'm coming. And I'm entering the epicenter of Planet Harry and Meghan, which is Montecito, California. Montecito. And what I might do, maybe I should get hold of Meghan's birth certificates whilst I'm there. I could do that thing that, in the movies when they break into the solicitor's office, like, the attorney's office, break in the dead of night. You use a credit card, don't you, to crack the door open. And the music is like dum 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 dum. Right, and I'm all dressed in black and everything. It's a great colour for me. It brings out my eyes. And I'm in there, and I've got in with the credit card, and I've got a little torch, and I find the filing cabinet, and I flick through, and you've got all these different Hollywood celebrities, and then it's like it says Meghan Markle, and I go bingo, and I take out the birth certificate, and it turns out she was born in the 60s. Right? She's 73 years of age. She's a double pensioner. No, the bottom line is maybe I should do a deep dive. How old is Meghan Markle? Let me know in the comments. How old is Meghan? Let me know in the comments. How old is she? 43? Or is she older than that? I doubt she's younger. But By the way, I don't feel bad speculating about her age because she lives in California. She's near Hollywood. She's been an actress. No actress has ever honestly, knowingly told the truth about their age, have they? I mean, it's a Hollywood tradition. You never tell the truth about your age. It's like when you change the mileage on a car with a screwdriver. That's what every single Hollywood star does, female especially. And so how old is she? Let me know in the comments. How old is Meghan Markle? Meghan Markle, age my husband. How old is she? How old is my husband? Let me know in the comments. And the other speculation, no one gets cancelled on the Mark Dolan show. The other speculation, some of you say that she had a hysterectomy in her 20s, as confirmed by her ex-husband, Trevor. Lovely guy, brutally dumped by Meghan because he no longer served his purpose. The same will happen to Harry. And that she couldn't have had those two babies. They're not her babies. Now, I've got no evidence for that. I don't believe that to be the case. But it's what you tell me in the comments. There is speculation about it. There are quite significant journalistic voices, Palace insiders, and also Sussex insiders who have said that the whole thing's a sham. I don't believe that to be the case, but that is a speculation. The famous moon bump. People said that the tummy is too perfect, it's too round, and that she was doing kind of Olympic gymnast maneuvers whilst pregnant. And so, look, you're entitled to your view, but that's another thing, right? Is she too old to have kids? Can she have kids at all? Who knows? But if she can, okay, and I'm willing to disagree with all of those people. I'm willing to assume that she is 43, that she's a healthy person, she's got a great diet, she's in good shape, she's fit and well. Let's not forget she eats perfectly clean, in-season vegetables from her own garden every day. She's literally the only gardener in the world for whom all produce is ready on the same day in late May, and it's all clean. It comes out of the earth clean. She eats the only clean vegetables ever seen in the world. The celery, the red peppers, the carrots, everything comes out clean. It's the Meghan magic. What it is, the vegetables are sort of dirty, and then she smiles at them, and the mud just dissipates in a kind of transformative, strange, metaphysical way. So if she is able to have kids, I've got no reason to believe. I think she can. I think she's 43. I think she could knock out one or two more. Okay? By the way, someone said, Mark, why do you fiddle with your nose? Are you on any mind-altering substances? Let me tell you that the Mark Dolan show is drug-free. Okay, the only stimulants that I have are my decaf, my famous decaf. Your comments that makes me very excited. Doing this show, the community that we're building, the broadcasting revolution that we're creating, the love of my family and friends, a couple of beers here and there. So I have quite a lot of stimulants, don't I? But none of them artificial. The Mark Dolan show is drug-free. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. Worst thing you can do. So fear not. The only thing, if you do see me fiddling with my nose or anything like that, or if I seem like I'm a little high, I think I know what it might be. Which is a couple of weeks ago, I bought some of Meghan Markle's flower sprinkles. And I can't lie. I wake up in the morning and I just shake them into my mouth. I wake up, I open the jar, and it's just... So at the moment, I'm on the flower sprinkles and trying to get myself down to a jar a day, but it's not easy. It's not easy. Right. So if she has the baby, this would be extraordinary for her brand. Because, first of all, she would make so many headlines. Can you imagine every day there would be headlines? There would be daily Instagram updates. Every moment would be documented on social media by Meghan. Okay, they'd be like, oh, the baby's kicking today, or I'm feeling a little faint, or wearing the high heels again. Every moment will be documented. She didn't sleep well last night. She'll tell us about it. She got a hot flush. She's got a rash. She's been to the gynecologist. I mean, the gynecologist and her could probably do a show on Netflix. Just Meghan, me and my gynecologist. That would be the show. And it would be a hit. 8 parts. 8 parts. I'm not talking about Meghan's anatomy. I'm talking about the show. It will be a season of 8 parts. Please behave. So if she had another baby, it would be colossal for her brand. And, here's the killer, right? A couple of things, right? So it would be baby number 3. I think we can agree that it probably would be the last if she could manage one. So that would be 3. And what if it was twins? Oh my goodness. Twins? Double Markle. And then the other possibility that I've been thinking about a lot. The Mark Dolan show is willing to speculate that Meghan may have one more child. Okay. And it's not because of the excellent Dr. Stefan, the psychologist, knows his onions, right? It's not him. I'll tell you the number one reason why I think Meg might try to pop one more out. And can I tell you why that is? Because Princess Catherine has 3 children and Meghan has 2. And Meghan always has to win. And anything Catherine can do, Meghan can do better. Anything Catherine can do, Meghan can do better. Meghan is competitive with everyone. Meghan is competitive with her own shadow. Okay? And she detests Princess Catherine. She pretends to like her. I like Princess Catherine. Princess Catherine is my friend. Upon her, I wish no harm. I mean it. That's what she pretends. She pretends she's on good terms with Catherine. All she ever does is reduce Catherine to tears and use her extraordinary PR machine to take down the Princess of Wales. It ain't working. We all love Catherine. But Catherine's made more babies than Meghan. That's going to rankle. Okay? That is going to rankle with the Duchess. So she may try to knock one out in order to match Catherine. I think it's incredibly possible. Now, she's been talking about babies for a long time. And she, very interestingly, and it's the other question I want to raise with you. Okay, so I think baby number 3 could happen to beat Catherine. That would be the main thing. Because that's what she lives to do. There's another thing to say, which is if this baby comes, if there's baby number 3, what will it be called? What will the baby be called? Because in the final episode of her terrible podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, she gave strong advice to expectant mothers. She said, if you have an idea about what you're going to name that baby, you keep it so close to your heart until that baby is born and it's named. Now, she says, keep the baby's name close to your heart. What that means, that is Meghan code for keep it secret. No, close to your heart. You haven't got a heart. If you did an MRI of Meghan Markle, you'd find an ego. You'd find a borderline personality disorder. You wouldn't find a heart. It'd be a tiny brain, maybe a kidney if you're lucky. Keep it close to your heart. That means keep it secret. And she said, I will say this to every woman in the world or every person in the world who's going to have a child. Don't ask anyone's opinion. Well, we know that's what happened because that is when they stole the name of Lily, which is, of course, short for Lilibet, which is the name that belongs to Queen Elizabeth. So I've got a new development on the... By the way, I'm back on the nose, aren't I? It is the flower sprinkles. The Sussexes. God, what's wrong with me today? Right, let's get on with it. So I've got a real twist in the Lilibet Lily saga. They announced the birth of their daughter, June 2021, Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Winter. Now, I know we're not using the word Lilibet on the Mark Dolan show. We call her Lily, but just for context, the name Lilibet was the Queen's personal nickname used by her father, King George VI, Queen Mother, her sister Margaret, her beloved Philip, close friends. And Meghan and Harry claimed at the time that the Queen was supportive of this name choice. But Robert Hardman, an incredible royal biographer and a good friend of mine who's been on my old TV show, Robert Hardman's got this incredible book out and it's called King Charles III, The Inside Story. And Robert Hardman, one of the finest journalists in the world, he said the Queen was asked to prop up Harry and Meghan's version of events that did not match her own. A palace staffer recalled Elizabeth II had been as angry about this name of Lilibet as I'd ever seen her in 2021 after Sussexes announced that she'd given them her blessing to call their baby daughter Lilibet. So the Queen was angry. The Sussexes said, oh yeah, the Queen's on board with this. We've consulted. Now, according to senior royal sources cited by the Daily Mail, the late Queen was deeply upset by how the name Lilibet was used without proper permission and is said to have told aides privately, are you ready for this? She allegedly and reportedly said, the only thing I own is my name, and now they've taken that. Hardman claimed that palace staff were particularly interested that Harry mysteriously omitted the entire incident from his memoir Spare, despite sharing intimate family details elsewhere. And that's the thing, everything was in Spare except the Lilibet saga. If you ask me, that is a sign of guilt. It's funny because the poor old BBC reported this at the time, citing palace sources that said the Queen had not been asked for permission. The Sussexes issued legal threats to the BBC for daring to report the news. And the bottom line is that they claimed, no, we checked with the Queen. Buckingham Palace refused to back them up, and those threats of legal action to the BBC did not materialise. Isn't that something? Who knew? Insiders told the Mail Online that it wasn't permission so much as a fait accompli. Harry and Meghan decided, or should I say Meghan decided in advance. Harry and Meghan presented to this to the Queen, says the insider, as we're going to call her Lilibet. Isn't that great? The insider continued, the palace version was that they didn't ask. According to senior royal sources cited by the Daily Mail, the late Queen was deeply upset by how the name was used without proper permission. She was not happy. Now, I think, therefore, you have to wonder, don't you? What will they call the next baby? Will they call, if it's a boy, will they call, if the baby comes, baby number 3 for the Sussexes, will they call it Philip? Because, I mean, they just take other people's names, don't they? And they're looking for high value names. Philip doesn't get more high value than that. Prince Philip, what a absolute icon, absolute hero. And Queen Elizabeth's rock for 7 decades. So they'll probably call, if it's a boy, they'll take Philip. And that poor man will be turning in his grave. Using my name? How dare they? They have no class, these people. How dare they use my name in such a manner? Philip would not be happy. I love Philip, one of my absolute heroes. I bet you, if they have another son, they'll call him Philip, right? They will plunder the family resources. They might call their son Charles, which would enrage the king, but that ship has passed. That relationship's over after it was revealed on this show that Prince Harry was talking to his uncle Charles Spencer about becoming Harry Spencer. Big reaction. That's a previous video. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Oh my goodness. It is wild. Maybe they'll call their son William to annoy the Prince of Wales. They don't care. Meghan will take anything that's not screwed down. She is somebody that takes things that don't belong to her. She's light-fingered. They might call, if it's a daughter, they might call the daughter Anne, because that's a very valuable royal property. Princess Anne, another heroic figure. What a dignified and beautiful woman Princess Anne is. We will do a Princess Anne special very soon. I cannot wait to get that video out because I love Princess Anne. She's so much like her mother, a true chip off the old block. She's more like Elizabeth than Charles is, actually. And I admire Princess Anne to the moon and back. We've got Lily, haven't we? Well, they might, if they have another daughter, they might just go for Elizabeth. They might have Lily as one daughter and Elizabeth the other daughter, because it's anything that's of value, of pecuniary value, and that has the royal connections, because that is what motivates Meghan Markle, my husband. That's what motivates her. And she wants to drag those kids into that legacy. It's my view that the Windsor name change, going from Mountbatten Windsor to Spencer, which Harry was trying to do, as reported by the Mail on Sunday, I believe that was all driven by Meghan Markle. And a very good friend of mine, Charlotte Griffiths, at the Mail on Sunday, part of that big scoop, said as much on television in the last 24 hours that she senses the hand of Meghan. I completely agree with her. She knows her onions. I'll tell you who also knows their onions. It's you. Some incredible comments about this idea of Harry changing his name from Mountbatten Windsor to Spencer. Claire said, Harry's last name could be Smith, and he would still be an idiot. Jess said, if he doesn't want his last name, give up the titles. What a great point. And Kiona, she's pretty harsh. Kiona does not pull her punches. She said, so he doesn't want the name, but he wants the money and prestige that come with it. Him and his nasty wife bullied the late Queen, and now he's bullying his ailing father. Despicable, says Kiona. Keep those comments coming. Is a third baby on the way? What do you think? Let me know. I'm off to have some more flower sprinkles. Can't wait to see you tomorrow for the next video. Let me tell you that the Mark Dolan Show publishes daily at 4:45 p.m. in the UK. 4:45 p.m. It is, got to remember this now, 8:45 a.m. in the morning on the west coast of the United States, 11:45 a.m. early lunchtime on the east coast of the United States, and late night and the early hours down under. So can't wait to see you for the next video. And I've got an exclusive preview about the next video. Now, let me tell you, I don't have a cat. I've got a cat which belongs to my neighbor. I've got a neighbor's cat that storms into my home called Reg. It's not my cat. He visits about 9 or 10 households. We're one of the lucky households that gets visited by this character. And he comes when he wants. And the thing is, he won't always be in these videos because he doesn't always come, because he's often, occasionally, he's with the people that own him. Imagine that. But my neighbour's cat, Reg, has been prowling around. And so sometimes he'll be on the videos. He won't always be because he doesn't always come. But he is here today with a preview of tomorrow's video. Take it away, Reg. See you tomorrow. I have got a lot of work to do today, because I'm going to be talking about Beyonce, and she's basically completely cancelled Meghan Markle. Can you believe it? I know. Have you ever been cancelled, Reg? I hope not. Anyway, fur is flying in the world of showbiz at Beyonce being very cool and standoffish with Meghan Markle, just like you're being very cool today. So listen, are you going to let me get on with the show? You're not going to disturb me? Sit on the computer keyboard? Crash into the studio? No, you look far too tired. You'll be no trouble today.